This is a story of how I made over $300,000 before I turned 23. What's going on, guys? It's Quan here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I made over $300,000 before I turned 23. I'm just hanging out here right now, chilling out here in Sedona. We got some nice red mountains in the back, just kind of chilling in nature. So if you hear some birds and stuff like that, or even helicopters, just ignore it. But this story, it isn't going to be a video where I'm going to be telling you how I, was a business owner, I was like an entrepreneur and stuff like that, and I made all this money because I had a startup and all that. No, I'm going to tell you how I made $300,000 as an employee. And I'm going to be giving the 5 rules that I live by on my daily basis in order to achieve that, so you can ultimately get that and make those results for yourself as well. And you will find out what those 5 rules are as long as you stay until the end of the video. Let's get started. Now, before I tell you all those rules and stuff like that, I want to go back a little bit and tell you my story on how I got started. So some of you may know I moved across the country, from Toronto to Edmonton, which is from East Coast to West Coast, when I was 18 years old, because I knew that I didn't want to go to post-secondary, I didn't want to go university, college, and all that typical millennial stuff that everyone falls into. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to find success on my own. So I went out. I ended up doing sales. I went into sales. It was telecommunication sales in Canada. In the States, it's like Verizon and T-Mobile and all that stuff. In Canada, it was Rogers and Bell. That's what I was in. And then I became the youngest person to get into management at 19 years old. I started making a lot of money right away, and from sales I also later on picked up a camera, started picking up clients with my camera, started taking on clients as well. So all in total, all the money that I've ever made was just a little bit over $300,000 before I turned 23, and has enabled me to travel to many places across the globe. I've been able to go to all these tropical and beautiful places that has waterfalls. You got the beaches, you got the oceans, beautiful culture. I've been eating amazing food, and I want to share this with you because I want you to be able to experience the exact same things that I was able to experience, and how you can continue to do great things as well if you haven't started already. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to really make this video special for you guys, because I know a lot of us, when we're young, we're millennials, we get stuck into this concept and this idea that we must go to school for 5 years plus after high school in order to be successful. But I want to be the first, or maybe the second or third, to tell you that that is not true. That is not true at all. And I didn't go to post-secondary. That means you don't have to either, and you can get the exact same results as me as long as you put the hard work, the dedication, and discipline yourself whenever you're not motivated. So let's get straight into the 5 rules. And the first one is just really simple, okay? The first one is never settling. Don't settle for less. The moment you settle for less in your life, that's when everything's going to crash down for you. Everything is just going to go down, and you're just going to be stagnant. You're going to be complacent, stagnant, lethargic, and be stuck in one little, you're going to be like a rock that's going to stay in your position forever. You don't want to settle. What I did is that I kept bouncing around jobs until I found something that really paid based on my efforts. Don't work as an employee. I do not recommend you working at a job that only pays you based on your hour. If you want to start off as an employee, and everyone starts off as an employee, as a stepping stone, what you want to do is find a place that pays you based on your effort. You could be a bartender, it could be a server, you could be doing tips and getting tips, or you could be in sales like I did. You can make commission, right? You can make sales, and you can make profit from each sale that you create. So number 1 is never settling, okay? Do something, work for something that actually pays you based on your effort and not your time. Because at the end of the day, if you're working for your, only your time, then that's one thing that you'll never get back. And it's also the most, rarest commodity and currency that everyone has, and that is time, because you can never get that time back, right? And the second one is just real simple as well. You don't ever want to put yourself in a bad environment. Okay, you don't want to be in the wrong environment. You want to make sure you're around people who, you know, bring you up, and people who want to share with you their ideas, their thoughts. They want to, you know, encourage your lights instead of trying to throw shade at you. Environment is very important, especially when you're planting a brand new seed. You know, you're trying to plant a new life. You're trying to be successful. You know, you're trying to be have a better body. You want to put yourself in a great environment that actually promotes your growth and your well-being. You don't want to be around something that deteriorates or you know, like blows out your fire. Okay, you don't ever want to be a part of that. Now, number 3 is perseverance. I've had many times in the beginning where I was like, man, I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to just fly back home and, you know, just go back home to where it was comfortable, and I had a, you know, I didn't have to pay for rent and I didn't have to cook my own food and stuff like that. I wanted you could just go back and just give up, basically, right? So you really have to persevere if you want to get amazing results, right? Most things in life, you know, you achieve it outside your comfort zone, not within it. You will never find treasure. You will never find gold inside your comfort zone. However, you will always find it outside of your comfort zone. Okay? And number 4 is expectations. You want to have high expectations for yourself. You know, set the standards for yourself to be able to really achieve anything that you want, right? That you will achieve ultimately. You will ultimately achieve whatever expectations that you have for yourself, right? Whatever standards that you have for yourself, right? I want you to think of it like a thermometer versus a thermostat. Okay, a thermometer tells you the temperature. It tells you, oh, it's this cold, it's that hot, it's warm, it's chill. That's what a thermometer does. However, I want you to be like a thermostat. You know, I got this from a guy named Ed Milet, and he says, if you are a thermostat, you know, if you set your thermostat at 100 Fahrenheit or like, you know, 30 degrees Celsius, it will raise the temperature around you to hit those standards of yours, right? However, if your thermostat is set really low, set really cold, like let's just say at 50 Fahrenheit, then it's gonna bring it to that standard, right? So I want you to look at yourself as if it's a thermostat. Some kids just downstairs creating a little fire, but anyways, yes, I want you to raise your standards. Raise your standards. And the 5th reason is real simple. Remember why you started. Remember why you started. And I think this is the most powerful one that I, you know, ever came across, because I had a family back home. I had many things that I wanted to accomplish, many things, you know, I didn't care about proving people wrong. I just care about proving myself right. And remembering why in times of, you know, when I was broke, when I was starving, I didn't have anything that I wanted in that time. I always had to go back and remember why I started in the first place. Why am I on this journey? What am I doing it for, right? If you figure out the why, the how will find itself, okay? Remember why you started, okay? So I'm gonna go back again real quick on what those 5 things were, okay? 1 is never settling, okay? Don't ever settle. Number 2 is your environment. Make sure you're in the correct environment to promote your growth, to promote your health, and to promote, you know, just your well-being in general. Number 3 is perseverance. You want to be able to persevere through the tough times, through the turmoil, through, you know, even just anything. Remember, you got to make little wins. It's all about the little wins. Don't get too you know, too caught up over the big wins that you forget about the little wins, because at the end of the day, your big wins is essentially just a bunch of micro wins that are put together that inevitably create your big wins, okay? And the 4th one, like I said, your expectations. Bring up your standards, right? I want you to be a thermostat. I want you to raise that temperature super high that no matter what you do, that thermostat yourself is going to bring that temperature up no matter what. And it's going to be based on your thermostat. It's going to be based on your expectations. Have high expectations, have high standards. I want you to do that for yourself. And number 5 is just simple as well. Remembering why you started. Remember why you started. When you're going through tough times, when you feel like giving up, when you feel like the whole world is crashing down on you, I want you to remember why you started in the very first place. All right, now if you guys enjoyed that video, I just want you guys to be able to comment below. Tell me, you know, why are you on this journey? Why you want to make, you know, $300,000, or why you want to do what you want to do. I would really love to hear it, and I will comment back to every single one of you guys. I really want to hear it. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.